Okay folks, so here's some area and volume for you for today. Sorry about that earlier. So what I wanted to try and get through this morning was volume as a topic, okay? So the volume of starting off with cubes, cuboids, and then moving on to cylinder, cone, and sphere. So the difference with these shapes are they are 3D. Okay, so that was what I was hoping to do there for you. So as I was showing you on the PowerPoint, the volume of a cuboid is equal to length by breadth by height. Okay, so if you're drawing out a cuboid, say the example I would use, so something like this, where the length is 10, 5 and 4. So we'll say it's in meters, like a box. Well, the volume then would be equal to length by breadth by height, which is 4 by 5 by 10, which is equal to 200 meters, and it'll be cubed, okay? Where then you're finding the surface area. So the surface area is how many surfaces are on it and finding the area of each surface. So there are 6 surfaces. Okay? So there's the front and the back. There's the top and the bottom. And there's the left and the right, as you would look at the picture. So on the front and the back, that's 2 times the length by the width. So 2 times the front and the back is 4 times 5. So 2 times 20 is 40 meters squared. Okay? The top is going to be 2 times, so this length is 10 and the width across is 5. So 10 by 5, so 2 times 50, which is 100 meters squared. Okay, so note the units for area are in meters squared. Whereas the left and the right is again going to be 10, but the height is 4. So 10 by 4, so 2 times 40, which is 80 meters squared. So the total surface area is equal to, so plus these together, 220 meters squared. So that's what I was trying to get across, okay? So that's the volume of a cube or a cuboid. And then we're moving on to cylinders. So the volume of a cylinder is equal to pi r squared h. So you have a cylinder that looks like so. There's the radius. H will be the height. So the volume is equal to pi is 3.14. The radius we'll say is 5. We'll call it 5. And the height is equal to 8. So 5 squared and the height is 8. So on your calculator, 3.14 by 5 squared by 8 is equal to 628 centimeters cubed. So that's the volume of a cylinder. Okay, but when it comes to finding the surface area or total surface area, that's going to be the folding out net version. So you'd have a circle at the top plus the bottom, so top and bottom. And then if you could imagine folding out a tin, it would be like a little rectangle. Okay? So when you're looking for the total surface area of a cylinder, the total surface area is going to be 2 times pi r squared for the 2 circles, so 2 circles, plus 2 times pi radius times the height. Okay, so that formula again is in your maths tables as well. Okay, so just be careful with your surface area. Now, we'll continue on. So I'll do an example. So an example of a cylinder. So say I have a cylinder here like so, r equal to 5 centimeters, and the height equal to 12 centimeters. So the volume then would be equal to pi r squared h, which in this case 3.14, the radius is 5 squared, and the height is 12. So 3.14 multiplied by 5 squared multiplied by 12 is equal to 942 centimeters cubed. Okay, so that's the total volume or the capacity of it, whereby if I do the total surface area is equal to 2 pi rh plus the 2 circles pi r squared, so 2 times the circles, which in this case would be 2 times 3.14 by 5, the height is 12, plus 2 times 3.14 by 5 squared. So when we put all that together then, 2 times 3.14 by 5 by 12 gives me 376.8 centimeters squared, plus 2 times 3.14 by 5 squared is 157 centimeters squared. And when I put the two of those together, my final answer should be 533.8 centimeters squared. Okay, so that's an example of the volume of a cylinder. Okay, now sometimes they can ask maybe more, like maybe a semicircle or some shape like that. Okay, so what happens if they ask us for a sphere? So a sphere, like a ball, but a ball with 3D shape. Okay, so it's like a football. Well, the volume is equal to 4 over 3 pi r cubed. Okay, so that's the volume of a full sphere. Now, supposing we say the volume is 4 over 3, pi is 3.14, and we'd say that the radius is 6 centimeters. 6 cubed. So be careful, it's not squared, it's cubed. So 4 over 3 multiplied by 3.14 by 6 cubed gives us 904.32 centimeters, and its volume, so it's cubed. Okay, and that's always with volume of a cylinder. Okay, now, or a sphere, sorry, volume of a sphere. And sometimes then they can ask for a hemisphere. So a hemisphere will be half a sphere. So the top half of a sphere, like a hat. So think of a hat, hemisphere. But the volume here is going to be a full sphere divided by 2. So it'll be 4 over 3, 3.14. We'll say the radius is 7, so 7 cubed, and divide your answer by 2 for half, which will give you, so on your calculator, 4 over 3 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by 7 cubed and divide that by 2, giving you an answer of 718.01 centimeters cubed. So just be careful between a full sphere and a half a sphere or a hemisphere, okay? Now, there's also then a cone. So in a cone, we have something like this. So there's our cone. We have the radius, we have the height, and we have the slanted L. Okay? So the volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r squared h. So in this case, if r was 4, the height is 10, our volume would be equal to 1/3 3.14 4 squared times 10, which is equal to 0.14 multiplied by 167.46 centimeters cubed. Okay? Now, that's the volume of a cone, a sphere, and a cylinder for you, right? But what happens if it has a shape that maybe has a cone and a sphere or something like that, okay? So it could be a combination shape, right? So that's where things kind of get maybe tricky for you, right? Or with measures, etc., etc. So, if you had like a life buoy in the water, a life buoy would consist of like a hemisphere with a cone on top. Do you see? So the radius might be 8 centimeters. The height could be 9 centimeters. And then we're asked to find the total volume. So the total volume would be a hemisphere plus a cone, which is 4 over 3 pi r cubed, divide that by 2 because it's only half a sphere, plus 1/3 pi r squared h. So in this case, 4 over 3, 3.14, radius is 8 cubed, divide by 2, plus 1/3, 3.14, radius is 8 squared, and the height is 9. So use your calculator again. So 4 over 3, 3.14 by 8 cubed, divide that by 2, is 1071.79 centimeters cubed, plus 1 over 3 multiplied by 3.14 1 over 3 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by, which is equal to 602.88 centimeters cubed. So add the two of those, plus 1071, gives us 1674.67 centimeters cubed. So that's the total volume. So there's some notes for you for today. And I'm going to put up a small few questions then from the book based on the same thing.